So, meanwhile, I mean, the Olympics have been popping. It's actually been pretty fucking good, not gonna lie. I've enjoyed quite a bit of it. I had a really awful moment where today I was watching rugby on mute and someone from Fiji scored a try. And then when the name came up, it said Anna Maria. That's when I realised it was female rugby being played.
Oh, wow.
Which is...
Shit.
Am I allowed to say that?
I mean...
Did you play rugby?
No, I hated it.
Did you play though?
No.
Did they make you play at school?
No. St. Thomas the Apostle was a football school, thankfully, and my college was a rugby college. But by then, I was just like,
You're already a bad man.
S my D. But that's not been the biggest news from the Olympics this week. Obviously, one of our greatest Olympians to ever do it, Simone Biles, withdrew from the individual all-round competition to focus on her mental health. She originally stated that it was due to some sort of physical injury, but then was sort of forced into revealing that she had hit a psychological block, which she felt put her at risk of injury, which is absolutely fair enough. Wanted to get her body and mind in check, so decided to withdraw, spoke to her teammates and said, I am going to lose this for you, so let me step aside. They went on to win the silver as a group, which kind of vindicated her position. But obviously, we live in a world full of dicks, so she had to wear quite a bit of criticism. She went on to say that she was going to be taking the rest of the Olympics one day at a time. But that did not stop Piers Morgan and the like
Friend of the
from
show.
laying into her about us celebrating quitting, us celebrating people who put their mental health over their physical well-being and their desires to win. We've been here before with Naomi Osaka just a few episodes ago. Gentlemen, what are your views on elite sports people at this stage, on the biggest stage of their lives, preparing for the Olympics for 5 years? How do you feel about them not fighting through the mental barriers? And do you actually think we are celebrating quitting more than we are celebrating winning?
Is there going to be a separate opportunity to slew Piers Morgan? Or do we have to do it now?
We'll work it in.
It's going to be a bit like your phone contract. It's as slew as you go.
Don't forget, he will hear this before he hits the shit with you, man.
Yeah.
Just slew as you go.
I mean, I'm happy to respond to quite seriously to the sports people bit, as long as I can come back and par Piers Morgan afterwards.
Look.
Or I can just par Piers Morgan now.
Work it in.
I don't know where Piers Morgan gets the audacity. I'm not going to waste this chance. Gets the audacity, considering that what this guy's probably closest thing to a sporting achievement was talking shit about Alistair Cook 10 years ago because he's friends with Kevin Peterson.
Yeah.
He talks about elite level performance. He got cancelled from CNN.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking watches CNN anyway. How do you get cancelled from a TV station that nobody watches? And as a former newspaper editor, responded to elite level pressure so well, he took the decision to hack a dead girl's phone.
Yeah.
As well as walking off a set when being confronted by a very talented weatherman.
Yeah.
This guy is not someone who should be listened to in either the sporting context, he's got the wisdom to support Arsenal, nor in the mental toughness context, given that he was a failure in America. He was a failure of broadcasting in this country and was disgraced for questionable editing standards at the elite level of journalism. Fuck Piers Morgan, fuck everything he stands for, from his shoes to his dusty hairline. Am I happy about elite level sports people finally confronting their mental health? Yes, I am. I'm delighted about it, to be honest. I'm delighted, and I'm glad that other examples have been set. I think this is another person that Piers Morgan was talking shit about was Emma Raducanu in Wimbledon. 18-year-old girl.
Oh, did he have smoke for her as well?
He had
she
big smoke
almost
for her.
died on that fucking...
She had a panic attack.
Like, literally, you could see her.
So anyone I've diagnosed with anxiety, anyone who's been diagnosed with anxiety could see that this girl was having a panic attack. It was and it took him 2 days to come out with it, and that was something that pissed me off at the time. But they came out and said panic attack. he was
So
giving
I
her
missed
smoke.
it.
He was
I actually missed
yeah,
that.
so this,
The next day she came out and said, "I had a moment,
Yeah.
but I'm better." I didn't know that the day after they then actually acknowledged
Yeah,
it was
they
a
came
panic
out,
attack. That
basically
makes so
loosed-
much
I don't
more
know
sense
if she
now.
said that, though.
She
She said she
didn't.
had breathing
Yeah,
difficulties.
she didn't. That's my point. I only saw the interview the day after.
Yeah, they loosely came out and basically admitted it was a panic attack,
yeah.
which is good. Good, they should say it. But again, if she's not willing to talk about her mental health publicly, that's entirely her prerogative. But it came out so people were waiting for Piers Morgan to talk some shit. I'm glad for Emma Raducanu that she has seen someone like Simone Biles go through this, and it's awful that Simone has had to go through this. From what I understand, actually, it's more ADHD related than it is anxiety related. And so people think that having ADHD just means you can't focus and you start throwing weird shit. It's actually an inhibitor for any other reaction or emotion that you're feeling. So if your routine, you've got a particular routine that you do before an event, and for example, you've done your left laces, then your right laces, and that starts to make you feel anxious, ADHD will amplify that feeling. If you feel frustrated because you've not landed a routine, ADHD will amplify that feeling of frustration. It clouds your ability to reason. And it's good for Emma, and it's awful that's happened to Simone, that she has seen an elite level sportswoman. Let's not fucking forget just how many Olympic gold medals. Not even been to an Olympics. You have to be obscenely good at your sports just to turn up at an Olympics.
It's crazy that people can even speak.
But
she's 23, 24 as
Bruv,
well.
This woman, Simone Biles, is so good at gymnastics that she does such a high degree of difficulty in her moves.
They don't know
Judges don't know how to score it. Yeah. She's the GOAT. She's literally a little Michael Phelps.
She's got a couple of moves named after her.
Yeah, she's unbelievably good. Yeah. So good for Emma, good for other people, good for other women of colour, whatever, that they have seen this happen, and it's awful that Simone's had to go through it. But I'm glad that she has done it publicly, because
women of colour is very important in that as well.
You can talk about that. That's very good for women of colour.
You can as well.
It's good for women of colour. It is good for women. It's not.
But please
I'm not a woman of colour, but it's good for women of colour.
We'll wait for you to get a tan when you come back from
when I
holiday.
come back-
Then we'll be talking about all the coloured issues.
I'm going to be bang.
That we
I'm gonna
all
be bang
face.
into colorism in 2 weeks. But it's good that she has set a stand, and it's good that she's set an example for other people from all walks of life, young people, older people, elite level sportsmen, up and coming sportsmen, and women, and it's good that she's taken a stand for her own rights, and that she won't perform. She won't perform if she's not feeling in the right space, and that's entirely healthy. You don't expect footballers to perform with torn hamstrings.
This is Simone Biles, 14 years old and onwards, tearing shit up. This is Simone Biles, who went through that whole Larry Nassar fuckery as she was taking on the world. This is Simone Biles, who was racking up golds with kidney stones, passing kidney stones. This is Simone Biles, who was racking up golds with broken bones in her feet.
Broken toes.
And Piers
Yeah, I don't understand why we're talking about this, to be honest. Because Piers Morgan is like a professional troll, right? So he'll say stuff like this to troll people and get a reaction, and people bite and regularly bite, and it causes a conversation about shit that we don't give a fuck about.
Fuck him.
Like,
should she have fought through the fact that should she have?
I don't care. Like, she should do what's right for her. If she's decided pulling out is the right move because my sport.
What would you want your kid to do in that situation?
Her sport, like the sport that she's chosen, like, and I'm not going to pretend to understand the.
You don't have to do a twizzle.
The particularities of her sport.
But not a move.
The fact of the matter is,
called a twizzle?
It's a
twist.
Twistle?
No.
It's just called a twist.
Yeah, but you twist in the air, it's called a twist.
I think it's called something else.
Somersault, 3.5.
Something prettier.
Twist, turn.
I thought it was called a twizzle.
So I have a similar, obviously, understanding as you guys have just demonstrated. So like, so I'm not gonna tell you whether she should carry on or not or whatever, anything like that. But what I will say is, if she's decided that this is the best avenue for her, let her do that. It deserves not even a headline, half a paragraph when you're wrapping up the new stuff. Like, only because she's as good as she is, right? Apart from that, like, this is a personal decision that she's made. And like I was Googling earlier to see if I could find the guy's name, and you mentioned earlier, Larry
Nassar.
So she's been through stuff in her life, right?
Yeah,
so
serious shit.
When she was super young, she went in and out of foster care.
Yeah.
She's obviously gone through this whatever,
Sexual abuse
pedophilia,
predator.
sexual abuse predator that was part
She
of
had
the
to front
US
the campaign against him because
part of
US,
the
US
US
gymnastics protected this guy for years.
Team, and so she's had a tough life, and for her to turn around and say, "Look, I'm not in the right frame of mind to do this super dangerous sport." Cool. Like that, I don't feel like it deserves a conversation.
She's
the only
also-
reason we're talking about it is because of Piers Morgan.
There was criticism before, but he amplified it massively. He put the tweet the night before saying, "Look, beware! I'm going to write this thing that's going to upset woke Twitter."
But that's what I'm saying. But that's literally what he does.
Yeah,
and that's
it-
what's caused all this conversation, right? Otherwise, it'd just be,
this
how
conversation
brave
go
is
anywhere.
Simone, and then people just move on.
People were questioning whether or not she
Big thing
had
in American Twitter.
the
more so,
mental
yeah.
resilience to be a champion, which is actually
mad
the most
chat.
idiotic thing you've ever heard. Like, I think she's...
You don't argue
I think
back
she's-
with these
I think she's
people.
earned herself quite a bit of goodwill with all of the gold
It's like
medals that
I say,
she's won.
I do wonder if Zidane has what it takes mentally to win a Champions League after winning 4.
But that's what I'm saying. It's on the face of it, it's so absurd. It's
so
just not
stupid.
worth talking about.
I hear you. But she did tweet saying, "The outpouring of love and support I've received has made me realize I'm more than my accomplishments in gymnastics, which I never truly believed before," which is actually quite heartbreaking. In other news, why is softball a sport at the Olympics?
Why is skateboarding a sport at the Olympics? There's so many dead-off sports. at
Can
the
we
Olympics.
dead dressage? Can we just dead
Is that
it?
the dancing horses?
Yes.
Yeah, that is
Can
dead
we
as
just
well.
dead it, please?
So mum's gonna be pissed at you for that.
They're not even trying to fling in some Afro beats to modernize the ting, like the horse dancing to some
I don't
trap.
get the sport
Like,
part of it. What's the sport part of it?
Do
The
you know how
horse is...
difficult it is to train a horse to do that?
Yeah, but the
it's
trainers,
technical capacity.
the trainers trained it.